Our first item on the program will be a rap dance or a rap chant by Miss Yearwood and her students. Violet Jean Baptiste. She is the public relations officer of ACDA, and she is a geologist by profession, a female geologist. I'm always proud when people are in the science, you know, science people, the money field. She's a geologist by profession, and she also owns her own geological company, right? She also owns her company. So let's stand and welcome and Vi as she presents to us her.
Jambo, everyone. Jambo is a Swahili word that means hello, what's up, what's going on, and your answer should be si Jambo. So let's start again. Jambo, everyone. Si Jambo. Louder, please. Si Jambo. Okay. I am very honored to be here today. Why? It's the first day, and I think we should applaud your teachers for beginning African History Day presentations on the very day, on the first day it begins. What is ACDA? ACDA stands for the African Cultural and Development Association. It was formed in 1993. Specifically, the main reason was to teach and bring to the attention our culture, our way of life, because we felt at that time that most of us had gone adrift from our culture. For those of you who know about us, and I'm sure about half of you in here may have gone to the African Emancipation Festival in the National Park. That's one of the things we do. We have a school, the Calaco. We have a Saturday program. We work with at-risk young people. We have women's centers, and we have our headquarters on Thomas Lands, which is opposite the National Park and adjacent to Queen's College. Enough said about that. I always like to begin these presentations with a story. I was very happy about this presentation before me. The steppers. Let's give them a hand. It always delights me to see young people at least do something that has history behind it. My story today, or my presentation here, begins with the story of truth and lie. A long, long, long time ago. Stories begin with that, right? A long time ago. Truth and lie went for a swim. And they were swimming at the Black Hole. I don't know who knows the Black Hole, but they were swimming at the Black Hole. Long, long, long time ago. So, when they, Truth of course, being Truth, said he's going swimming, he means that, right? Because he's Truth. Lie says he's going swimming, but he's a liar. You think he's serious about swimming? Because he's a liar. So he gets to the Black Hole, he takes off his clothes, takes it off, and goes into the water and starts to swim. Lie, on the other hand, wait until Truth takes off his clothes, puts it on, and runs away. Right? And that is what we have going on in the world today. Well-dressed lies. Well-dressed lies. And one of the lies, one of the profound lies that we have been taught, and some of us in 2023 believe, is that African people should be glad that Europeans came and grabbed them and bring them as slaves and teach them civilization, because they were swinging on trees and eating bananas. One of the well-dressed lies. I have just returned from Ghana. This is my second trip. I visited 14 countries in Africa. And I'm still to see swinging on trees and banana too. I'm still to see that. The truth is, all people, I don't care what you are, I don't care what race you are, all people originated in Africa. Every single person. And that's not Sister Violet saying that. That's a fact. That's a fact. Every group, every person, in every person here and all over the world have the Eve mitochondria DNA. And what is this DNA? This mitochondria DNA? Everybody in the whole world have it. They call it the Eve. It's a DNA, a mitochondria DNA from a black woman that originated on the plains of Africa. Every single one of you have mitochondrial DNA from a black woman. Everybody in the world. And that's not Violet said that. That's not black scientists saying that. That's white scientists coming out of Oxford and Cambridge and so on. That's not me with that. So all of us are one. Our roots are the same. African history. I always like to start with that story. African history. The father of African history is Carter G. Woodson. Carter G. Woodson was a black man who came from parents that were slaves, ex-slaves. The father of African history is Carter G. Woodson. By the age of 17, he hadn't gone to school because he had to help his family on the farms and so on. In any event, he was a bright lad. He was a bright person. And what did he do? He entered school at 17. Could you imagine that? And in that there's a story here. Some of you might think, oh my, look at my age and I'm fully grasping it. But there is time. Carter G. Woodson at 17 started school. And when he started school, he did so well, he received scholarships. You know something? And went on to become an intellectual, a scholar. He went to some of the best schools at the time. And what do you think happened? Carter G. Woodson suddenly realized that in all the schools he was going to, there was nothing in the books about African people. Nothing at all in his time. So what did he do? He started to lobby the legislators of his day. He went to the Congress, Ministry of Education, I guess in his country. And after a while, they agreed that they will have 1 day a year. That's 1926. It's a long time ago. 1926. And they agreed we're going to have 1 day. And we're going to call it Negro History Day. Because back then, they thought our knees were still growing. So they would call us Negroes. That's a joke. In any event, what they found, there's so much information about African history, a day wasn't enough. And then it went on to a week. And then it was called Black History Week. And then as African people became more conscious, in 1976, it became African History Month. But Carter G. Woodson said that there is nothing like African history. What is called African history is really the missing pages of world history. I repeat, what is called African history is really the missing pages of world history. Good. The ancient site. This is another story. There was a gathering of the ancients, the wise ones, and they became very concerned. And they said, a time will come when our generations will forget who they are. And what happened then? They decided we're going to put a mark on them. So when they forget who they are, others will look at them and say, you're African. She's African. When you forget who you are, others will see you and know who you are. Because our ancestors mark us with that. Decide among yourself, what's our mark? That when people see you, they say, she's African. She might know she is, but she is. He might not know he is. He might say he's not African, but I know he is because he got a mark of Africa. In any event, let's go back to truth and lies. I want someone that may be brave, especially this little fella here, you. Yeah, stand up. And tell me one of the lies that you've heard about African people. What are the lies you heard? Anybody want to give it a shot? They're always seen as poor. They're always seen as poor. Anybody else?
They're always seen as dangerous.
They're always seen as dangerous. They never seem educated enough. Huh? They originated that are taught and said about African people. Some of you in here will go on to be scientists. You'll do biology. You'll look at DNA. You'll be in the labs. And you will learn some of the things I say here today. In Ethiopia, they found the oldest skeletal remains of a Homo sapien sapien. And we are that, right? And what they found, the oldest humanoid, what did they find? That all the head, the cranial capacity was exactly like ours. So before we migrated out of Africa to go to China and Europe, when we stepped out, we were Homo sapiens sapien. Homo erectus. 160,000 years ago, we were Homo sapiens sapien. Fully erect. Full cranial capacity. They said, one of the sisters said, we are said to be poor. Poor. Africa is one of the richest countries in the world. Continent. And Africa is not a country. How many people know that? It is a continent of how many countries? Countries. In Africa, you will find the tallest people in the world. In Africa, you will find the shortest people. In Africa, you will find some of the hottest places in the world. You will find temperate climates, snow. I happened to go into South Africa and thought I was going into Africa that will be hot, and I went in the cold season where you have to cover up, just as when you're in New York or London or Canada. You have to have woolies up. One of the tallest mountains in Africa is called, anybody know it? Kilimanjaro. And on top of it, snow all year round. So there are places in Africa that is so hot, and there's places in Africa that is cold. There are places in Africa where people have short hair, and there are places in Africa, countries in Africa, where people have long hair. There are places in Africa where people have broad nose, and there are places in Africa where people have straight nose. It's a diverse continent of many, many types. And when the history of the world is properly written, we will learn that the developed world was able to develop by raping the resources of Africa. As a matter of fact, in Africa, have some some of the minerals that without it, we would not have a space program. We won't have it. We need those minerals. But I don't want to get into minerals because, as you know, I'm a geologist and I could talk all day about minerals. I just wanted to throw that in. Good. I want to shift now to Guyana. Guyana. African people, and it's important that we learn about Guyana. African people were brought here and made slaves. They didn't capture anyone. They didn't bring slaves to Guyana. They made you slaves when you came here. As I said, I just came back from Ghana, and I did the journey from the coast to the interior. You would be walking some 4,000 miles to the coast. I went to the place of the last place where you had the baths. They would bathe you after all of that, freshen you up. Some week they would throw in the boat to die. Then you would go to the castle and put on a boat and you were brought to Guyana. What was Guyana like at that time? Guyana is below sea level. When the slave ships arrived, what did Guyana look like at that time? Realizing Guyana is below sea level. Answers. Brother says swamp. Swamps. Bush. Swamp. Now, what is found in swamps? What is found in swamps? You arrive in a swamp. What is found? Someone said mud, someone said mosquitoes, someone said snakes, someone said alligators. Huh? 31. And when you're in Ghana, this is just a side piece. Where I was staying, I could see the Atlantic Ocean. And that was so fascinating to me. Because I said, in Guyana, I could see the Atlantic Ocean too. So if I got on a boat and sail in a certain direction from Ghana, I'll come to Guyana. Right. In Ghana, I saw the Atlantic Ocean. In Guyana, I see the Atlantic Ocean. Okay. There it is. Another lie. I brought people here. I dropped them in a swamp. They say they're stupid, illiterate, whatever. No medicine or doctors came. How did they survive? They had to have knowledge of pharmaceuticals to treat themselves. No doctors came with them. When they got sick from the swamp and poor conditions, who looked after them? They had to look after themselves. When they brought them here, they set them building the infrastructure that we have now. How they did it? They didn't have high mark, spade, shovel. How it was done? By hand. They dug number 1 polder, number 2 polder, number 3 polder. Canals. Where's the 3rd canal? You know, number 1 polder, 2 polder, but there's a 3, there's a 3rd one. Where is it? Excellent. Mocha. The 3rd canal. E Street was a canal. All over this place, dug it with their bare hands. As Brother Guyana said, they civilized the coast. They opened the interior. That's what happened. And they did that for over 200 years. So whoever came after slavery was abolished, came to a place they could step off the boats into a lodge or what have you, built by Africans. The swamp drain and everything. Then the steppers today mentioned about the different revolts they had in Guyana, fighting and so on. The one that is recorded, of course, is Coffee, Mangalimber, Coffee, where he fought and tried to negotiate with the Dutch. So listen, I don't want to rule you. You give me a portion, and you can take a portion. And we can run over here. And the governor at the time said to Coffee, listen, I want to discuss it and then write and tell them what you plan, your suggestion. In the meanwhile, Coffee tell Africa, them boys, listen, I don't want you killing anybody. Let us negotiate. Accra, those boys said, let's kill them all. Coffee hide the weapons. In the meanwhile, the governor said, all right, to Dutch and find out if your suggestion could work. He was lying. He wrote them asking them to send reinforcements. More boats, more this, more that. And when they arrived, they slaughtered them. Coffee, it is said, committed suicide. And that was before the Haitian Revolution, that is hailed as the first blow in the Caribbean for freedom by slaves. And then, I'm talking about African heroes in African History Month. And then there was the 1823, where you had John Gladstone and his father Kwame. They were carpenters on the East Coast. And because he was a carpenter, he had a lot of, he couldn't move around. And he heard that the Abolition Act was happening. venture. But they were defeated. They were defeated. And Jack Gladstone and his father went into hiding. And a courtier, a snitch, a courtier, tell Mactor, we hiding. Tell Mactor we hiding. And this is Ghana history. And they captured him and his father coming out 7 days or a few days later. But what happened there? You got to know. There was a carnival of killings. A carnival of killings. They cut off their heads and lined the East Coast Road from Chattanooga all the way to the parade ground. They devoured the women. 1823. Struggles for freedom. Jack Gladstone. Good. It was so vicious that it sped up abolition. And then we had the abolition of slavery. 1st of August, 1834. After that, the planters complained and said to let these people go free. We need this free work. So they decided that people who have worked over 200 years now are apprentices. And what is an apprentice? Who knows what an apprentice is? What's an apprentice? When they say you're an apprentice. I want an apprentice. You're going to learn the work. An apprentice, carpenters take on apprentices, seamstresses, hairdressers, cosmetologists to teach you. You're going out to learn it. Over 200 years you work and then you suddenly become apprentice. And what do you think happened? I like that. A mulatto slave. He was 28 years of age. By the name of Damon. Damon did him. Organized. They freed Africans and said, listen, this apprenticeship is wrong. Because you're an apprenticeship, I got to work for these planters for 8 hours a day. But what did they do? They started to plant provision, plant stuff, mine pigs. And there was a planter named Bean. What do you think he did? He organized the planters and went and killed them. But 60 pigs. Because if they haven't got things to make money on their own, they got to stay and work. And what do you think happened after that? Rebellion. They gathered in a church in Essequibo. And then the militia came, lock them up, bring them to Georgetown, try them. And what do you think happened to Damon? Damon, 10 days they were in the churchyard. They hold off for 10 days. bring them to Georgetown, Damon was sentenced to death. And the governor said to him, "Here, Mano, I won't kill you if you tell these people to accept this apprenticeship period." And what do you think they're going to do? He said, just tell the people, just accept this apprenticeship. Accept it. And I ain't going to kill you. What do you think they going to do? Damon said, what may be said and do, be done, be said and do. How many of you in here would have been a Damon? What if you all would have been a Damon? Damon said, what may be do and say, be done, be said and do. And they hurried Parliament buildings on the 13th of October, 1834. He was hung. Alright. The apprenticeship period ended 4 years later, August 1st, 1838. And what happened? After then, the slaves came off the plantation. And this is the lesson I want to send here today. Landless. What do you think they did? They didn't sit in a corner. Nobody gave them anything. They didn't sit in a corner and cry, poor me. No. They started to plant. They started to mine livestock and created the cottage industries in Guyana. Farming, planting, livestock rearing. So it is important to know, nobody gave them any land. They didn't go in a house lot. Most of these slaves came from West Africa. And that part of West Africa was known as the Gold Coast. They went into the interiors of Guyana. Mined gold, planted their villages, which they bought. Nobody, they brought the money, they all put the money together in wheelbarrows. How many of us with wheelbarrow bringing money in today? How many of us say, listen, bring a wheelbarrow again, everybody throw the money in it, and some of you carry to the principal's office. By the time you get to the principal's office, you find the churches, and some of you put your hand in the collection plate. Pretend you put it in and you take it out. And you think it's a prank. It's not a prank, it's this honesty. It's this honesty. Your ancestors pooled their money and bought 142 villages. Some of the villages that was bought, some of you don't even know them today. Lenora, Annandale, Agoston, Farm, Pearl, Coverdale, Friendship, some of those villages that we sweat on, man. We even know it. And the point I want to make is, as African people, we rise against adversity. Some of you, some of us, today, we get distracted. Somebody could come and tell me they like me. I'm going to be doing all kind of nonsense. Social media. Somebody get into an accident. And before we say, can I help you? Because we want to be the first to post it. We're not saying, you're okay, can I help you? As a matter of fact, the person who coming to say, can I help you? Checking to see if you got a ring, continue your pulse. As young people, you have a lot to draw from. You have a lot of positive role models to draw from. I don't want to hear you say, I don't know, I can't grasp this chemistry. Connect. Chemistry comes from the word connect. Africans, chemistry, mathematics, physics, forest heart transplant, vaccine, creativity. You have so much. Don't let persons come in the schoolyard or among you and try to entice you to do drugs. Molly, and some of the ones I don't know. Are you brownie? And you think you're being cool. Chase them. Run them out. That's not somebody who have your interest at heart. The school should have little trips, taking you around Georgetown and showing you the results of that. Just a couple days ago at my office, a woman, young, she got about 30, my size, and I'm not there. Running down, taking off the clothes, stripping naked skin. The drug. I had to run out, see if I get something to throw on her. It was so embarrassing. The people who introduce you to drugs are often your friends. If your enemy brings drugs to you, don't take it. It's your friend who says, okay, you're a little sad, take this to make you feel better. And before you know it, you're done. Done. Sisters in that corner there, stand up. Hello? Stand up. Stand. Stand, please. Stand. What did I just say? Give me something I just said. You have Round yourself. You got logic. It's very distracting. Very distracting. Because it happens at the moment all the time, always, you know, something always interesting. It's gotten so bad, sisters. It's gotten so bad in some schools that some of the young ladies taking pictures of their vaginal parts and sending it to boys. I can call the school, but I'm not going to do it. Because a teacher told me about it. The thing about it, when you get older now, when you get big, and you get, you know, mature, and you might meet someone you really care about, then you're shame. You're shame for what you do now. You're shame. We do a lot of silly things when we're young. A lot of silly things. But most importantly, I want to say this. For those, you know, I have books here that speak a salute to black scientists and inventors. A salute to black forests. ABC, this is what I have and teach our young children. ABC of black inventors. Black scientists and inventors. Communication. We in our organization have many of these books. Many. In transportation, I want to skip now into African inventions. African inventions. Who want to give me 1, 2, 3? Because in one of the lives, we heard that African people didn't do anything. And I want to say today, if the African inventions are taken out of the world, we will all be sitting in the bush naked. We first made cloth. We weave cloth. Shoes. We first domesticated animals. We were a nomadic people moving around till one day the women say, you know, nomadic people move. The women must have said, listen, we could plant, because as you move you eat, you know what you're doing and so on. Then one day they said, listen, we could plant and stay. So homesteads were first started by African people. We started plant, we domesticated animals. The point I want to make is I'm still waiting to give me some African inventions. GMOs, brother say. Huh? Security cameras.
It's a great
It's the Great Pyramids of Egypt.
The Great Pyramids
Of Egypt.
Do you know the Great Pyramid of Gaza sits on the center of the earth? Did you know that? Center of the earth. And I'll tell you something. The mathematics was so precise that one of the pharaohs had a little aperture where he was living. And the sun, apertures are open. The sun only goes through that aperture on his birthday. That's mathematics. To do that and to design that, you have to know rotation of the earth, rotation of the sun. It only goes through on the day he's born, his birthday. The 365 1/4 is an African construct. Astronomy. There were some people called the Dogons. The Dogon. They mark their faces. They dance. When the Europeans encountered them, they said they were primitive. They would mark and dance the trajectory of stars. And they told them, listen, there's a star there. It's only seen every 50,000 years. They're credited with the Cyrus B. The French astronomer hid the information in his drawer. It was only pulled out when he died. He didn't want the world to know that these people they classified as primitive could teach them about astronomy and the heavens. Cyrus B. They would dance trajectory of stars. They would mark on their faces orbits. So I don't want to hear that you're slow and you don't know. You gotta find that in you because it's in you. It's in you. Reach in and take it up. All of you have it. Because all of you origin is Africa. Every one of you. And you could debate it if you like. Who came up? I want some with another invention. Traffic light. Air conditioning. When the Africans moved into Spain, they ruled Spain for 720 years. They introduced hot and cold, sidewalks, perfume ACs. 720 years the Africans ruled in Spain. Listen, the mop, baby carriage, the refrigerator, the rotary engine that we use in helicopters, plane, African inventions. The monkeys, as they claim, invent in there. Could stay. Don't underestimate yourself and don't take what people tell you. That's why I come and every time I go to schools I bring books. Read it. Now you don't even got to go by books. Just punch in on Google African invention. That's your whole list. Right in. Good. And finally, I want to end. I ain't here, thank God. I want you to tell me about an African instrument. Sharp, sharp, the piano, the guitar, many instruments, saxophone, African inventions. African. nonsense. Nobody can come and entice you with nonsense. They say you're going, I like you, you so that. You already, I already know that. I already know that. I love me. That's the first thing. Love yourself. Now, the sister at the back, way the back, that said the pyramid of Gaza, come forward. I'm looking for persons who stood up. I can't even remember who did. Could you bring
Please see a miss. Please see a scripture. Please see us. I'm taking questions. Go.
You don't have any boys that said anything? Fun boy. Okay, I want to applaud, give your hands of applause for these persons that participated and answer questions. Okay? And I would like to present to them history. So the Sankofa bird, pass it please. For those, pass it around to those who want it. We spoke of instruments. There are many instruments in the African world. Strange enough, this is one. This is one. Pass this. Pass it to the next. You can come in the front to look. This is the original cross. This here, actually, this I picked this up in Ethiopia. countries in Africa, official religion is Christianity. There's only one country in Africa that is within that is Morocco. But all the official religion is Christianity. Benin is the only country in Africa that private government is not a state. Benin, ancestors, they have their own religion. Now, don't remember, reality is our what they should believe. It's because we do good things to people that are able to take us in. Roberta Macy teaches dance, and I would like her to make a presentation from ACDA to Sister Trim.
Jambo everyone. Jambo everybody. See Jambo. Thank you. On behalf of the African Cultural and Development Association, we take this heartfelt opportunity to present Ms. Kendra Trim with our book called The Guyana Reparations Story. I hope you read it and you'll be able to teach your children some of the history findings that you will see in this book. Will be very edifying for them. Thank you very much.
Okay, students, thank you. You were very attentive, I must say. I must applaud you. You sat for the entire presentation. Okay, so now we bring our program to a close. Let's stand and thank Sister Vi for a lovely presentation. 120? 125? Alright, let's give her a round of applause. We now call Ms. Jackson to do the vote of thanks and then we know.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the students, teachers, and staff of New Central High, we would like to thank ACDA for the most enlightening information about African culture and history, and we will put this information to you, so thank you very much.
Alright, so to close off, we have our very own students. They were waiting for a long time to display their African clothing. So we will close off today's session by having a display by students of Form 1, 2, and 3. Come on, let's go.
It's